Look, I consider myself a relatively normal person. I pay my taxes, I hold the door for old ladies, and I try my best to avoid situations that could ruin my social credibility forever. But fate? Fate has other plans for me. It all started when I got an interview for a marketing job at this super fancy firm. I needed this job badly. My bank account was practically sobbing. My best friend, Ryan, had hyped me up so much. "Dude, you've got this," he said. "Just be confident, professional, and don't do that thing where you panic and start talking about weird conspiracy theories." Fair. So on the big day, I put on my best suit, which may or may not have been borrowed from Ryan, rehearsed my answers, and walked into the office with the kind of confidence that only comes from watching 5 motivational YouTube videos in a row. The receptionist told me to wait in the conference room, and that's when the disaster began. I walked in, sat down, and immediately felt off, like something was wrong. It wasn't until I glanced down that I realized what had happened. My pants were ripped, and not just a tiny rip. Oh no, we're talking Grand Canyon levels of destruction, right in the worst possible spot. Now, I had 2 options: panic and run out like a coward, pretend I wasn't currently mooning the chair, and proceed with the interview like a professional. Obviously, I chose the second option, because, hey, maybe they wouldn't notice, right? Spoiler alert, they noticed. The interviewer, this very serious, very no-nonsense woman named Linda, walked in, sat down, and started asking me questions. And for the first 5 minutes, I was killing it. I was charming. I was witty. I even made her laugh. But then, in the middle of me explaining my experience, she suddenly stopped and frowned and looked directly behind me. At first, I thought she was distracted. Then she tilted her head and said, "Is that a SpongeBob sticker?" I froze. I knew. I just knew. Slowly, dreadfully, I turned my head, only to see my boxers, bright yellow, proudly peeking through the rip. And right there, on my exposed underwear, was a massive, smiling SpongeBob face. "Kill me. Just kill me now." Linda's lips twitched. She was trying not to react. But I saw it. The slight shake of her shoulders. The way she bit her lip. She was holding back laughter. At this point, I had 2 options: deny everything and pretend I didn't hear her. Embrace the absolute train wreck my life had become. So I sighed, looked her straight in the eye, and said, "SpongeBob represents my optimism in the workplace." And that's when she lost it, full on laughing, like had to cover her mouth, tears in her eyes laughing. And I just sat there, accepting my fate. When she finally calmed down, she wiped her eyes and said, "You know what? That's the best answer I've ever heard." I walked out of that office feeling defeated. I called Ryan immediately. "Me, bro. I just bombed the interview." "Ryan, what? What happened?" "Me. SpongeBob happened." But then, because apparently my life is a sitcom, I got an email later that night. Subject: "Congratulations. I got the job." Apparently, Linda loved my ability to stay calm under pressure, which is a very professional way of saying this guy handled his underwear crisis pretty well. So yeah, that's the story of how SpongeBob got me a job. And also, why I now double-check all my pants before leaving the house.